Let's get our guy into the mix to put a bow on an exciting night at Bellator 255. CBS Sports combat analyst and co-host of the Morning Combat, the king of swing, Brian Campbell. BC, always a pleasure. Patricio Pitbull adding to his already illustrious resume with yet another vicious guillotine choke in this one. I don't know how much you could take away from a finish that quick, but did that look like the baddest man in Bellator pound for pound?
Joe, this is a bad individual. Look, the storyline heading into this fight was how much Emmanuel Sanchez had improved in the 3 years since these first two met. He pushed Pitbull to the limit in the first fight. The fight was up for grabs entering the final round. I think what we should have focused on is how much better Pitbull has got during that time as well. You can say it. You're looking at one of the best pound-for-pound fighters on this planet, regardless of weight, regardless of promotion. And I think you're also looking at somebody who's making a very strong case at the moment to be the best featherweight fighter on the planet. This is what Patricio Pitbull is doing. He's always been rugged, he's always been aggressive, but to round out his game in this type of scary fashion, to do what he does on the ground, to go out there in the first round against a red-hot game and hungry opponent and submit him with ease. Tap or nap, Sanchez, I don't think he chose it. I think he slipped into it. It was nap time. You're looking at it, like I mentioned, a pound-for-pound performance from the great Pitbull.
Yeah, a protect-your-neck type situation right there that ended the wrong way for the challenger. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but that's really the beauty of the Grand Prix. There's no posturing, no politics. We know A.J. McKee is next for Pitbull with $1 million bonus on the line. How do you like the matchup between those two?
Oh, I love it. Look, when you looked at this bracket, 16 men when it was first started, you had to look at these two and think, could they end up in the finals? Would this be the perfect matchup? Things have gone perfectly to plan for Bellator, even though you can't plan a tournament like this. You get who you get. And when you look at A.J. McKee, just 25 years old, unbeaten, he already holds Bellator records for consecutive victories, most submission wins. And now he's going up there against maybe the best featherweight in the world. This is a fantastic matchup, one of the best you can make in the promotion and the sport overall. And I think it just goes to show you there's no champion's advantage in the World Grand Prix tournament. Patricio came in with the belt. He'll have to leave it. Every single fight in this bracket has been a championship fight, has felt like a tournament final. Now he's got one more, and I think the scary part is, Joe, we don't really know how good A.J. McKee actually is. We're going to find out when these two meet later this year.
For us, it means more excitement coming on Showtime. Meanwhile, one fight earlier in the night, Jason Jackson was awarded a unanimous decision over Gracie. The contrasting styles really on display here, BC. Where was this fight won and lost?
I think this fight was won and lost in that opening round. Look, this fight could have gone either way. It was a weird fight. Both fighters instilled their specific advantage. Jason Jackson on the feet, and certainly Gracie, known for that Gracie jiu-jitsu on the ground. I think the problem for Gracie was, even though he put himself in great advantageous positions on the ground, he was never able to really get offensive or put himself in a spot where he was close to gaining a submission win. I think this fight was decided in round one when it turned out all three judges ended up favoring Jackson in a round. He spent a lot of it on his back. But when he did work and get to his feet, he was landing the only damage that we saw from a striking standpoint. This was a big win for a guy who has just one loss in his last 8 fights, and that was a disputed split decision against Ed Ruth that a lot of people thought Jackson won. He's kind of come out of nowhere to a degree, and now he's a viable player in this welterweight title division and standing, which of course has champion Douglas Lima on top.
Most definitely. One fight prior, Usman Nurmagomedov introduced himself to the Bellator world with a pristine effort against Hamill, carrying on with the undefeated ways of the family name, BC. His striking was scary good. What did you like most about the inaugural effort in Bellator ranks for Nurmagomedov?
You're looking at a future title contender. There is no argument against that. The precision, the poise, the way Nurmagomedov was able to set up every strike perfectly and land it flush and with power. He never shot for a takedown, which you might be surprised to hear from somebody with the last name Nurmagomedov. But this is Usman. It's not Habib. He has a much more well-rounded game than the great former UFC champion who now serves as his trainer and is also his older cousin. But I think what we learned about Usman Nurmagomedov is he's a little bit more comfortable on the feet. A great kickboxing game, but it's predicated upon defense, poise, and precision. And when he does deliver, he does land flush. Look out at the lightweight division. There's a new Nurmagomedov on the scene.
Exciting stuff, no doubt. BC, the fun does not stop. A week from tonight, the Bellator Light Heavyweight World Grand Prix will begin. This division stacked with talent and name recognition. Who should we be looking for when the conflict commences next Friday?
Obviously, look, reigning champion Vadim Nemkov is one of the rising stars in Bellator. He's the favorite in this tournament. But there is one matchup that everybody has circled on their calendar. Originally for April 16th, now moved to May 7th. That first-round quarterfinal matchup when Anthony Rumble Johnson and Yoel Romero face off. Both are former UFC title challengers. Both are coming in with legitimate questions to answer. Anthony Johnson's been away from the sport for 4 years on a self-imposed retirement, but he can knock out anybody at any time, at any weight class. And of course, the great Yoel Romero has now moved up to light heavyweight. He's a wrestler. He's an ageless wonder at 43. You have to expect fireworks, and it's all going to start, of course, with Ryan Bader, the reigning heavyweight champ, in a rematch with Lyoto Machida next week.
He promises fireworks, and we like fireworks. Brian Campbell breaking it all down here on CBS Sports HQ. Thanks, my friend. Hey, for more from BC and our guy Luke Thomas, make sure you download, subscribe, and listen to the Morning Combat Podcast. Our guys breaking down all things combat. You won't want to miss it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, live on YouTube. But for now, you can download and subscribe. The Morning Combat with Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.